inspired optimization and its application to complex engineering problems. I would like to introduce for Ankur sir. Dr. Ankur Chaudhary is major in computer science and engineering and has pursued PhD from School of ICT, Gautam Buddha University, Greater Noida, India. His area of research is nature-inspired optimization, artificial intelligence, software engineering, medical image processing, and digital watermarking. He has served many academic institutions. He has published research papers in various SCI, Scopus Index, international conferences, and journals. He is associated with various international journals as a reviewer and editorial board member. He has organized conferences, special sessions at international conferences, served as session chair, and delivered keynote. So I welcome you, sir, on the behalf of
Thank you so
ABS
much.
IT
Thank you.
family, and I would request you to please go ahead with the session.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to you all. So today's topic is nature-inspired optimization and its application to complex engineering problem. So in the last 1 week, this 3-4 days in the FDP, similar topics you have covered. And even today, the last lecture, I have seen the schedule. It was also based on nature-inspired optimization. So I have kept it in the sequel of the previous work, which Dr. Arun have covered. After that, I am covering. So how we can solve the complex engineering problem, we will be looking on that. And few nature inspired we will be cover here, like particle swarm optimization, cross search algorithm, and their implementation, how their performance changes by changing their parameters. We'll be seeing throughout the session. So let's start with nature inspired optimization algorithm. First of all, optimization algorithm is highly efficient algorithm which find out the solution of highly complex problems. Like we can see, there are various problems in which maximization and minimization problems occurs. Like we have, suppose I have to go from this place to another place and I have limited resources for that. For that limited resources, I have to complete that duration, means from here to that particular place I have to go. I have limited money with me. I have limited time with me. During the limited time and money, how can I cover that situation? The similar type of problems we have in nature. It can be like various energy consumption problem also. It can be like profit maximization also, accuracy maximization also. Various problems are there. Nature inspired optimizations are the techniques that can help us to solving these problems. Wait a minute, please. Mute yourself. Yes, nature inspired optimization algorithm are the set of novel problems that is used to solve these problems. It includes genetic algorithm, particle swarm optimization, cuckoo search, ant colony optimization, and so on. Various problems are there. So we are starting with the basic one. We are discussing various type of optimization problems which we have. We have three type of problems with us. First one is the decision problem, we can see. Second is the input search optimization techniques. Third is the optimization problem. Now, okay, now there will not be any problem. I have muted everyone. If you will be having any problem, you can raise your hand. So the decision problems are basically the problem. It is that these are the question based problem in which what we do, we ask question from the particular person, and the answer can be either in yes or no. It can be like if suppose a tumor is a benign or a malignant tumor, so the answer will be clear. It will be either yes or it will be clear no. If we move towards the search problem, like suppose as I have given the example, I have to move from this place to another, suppose ABS I have to go. There are the various ways for that, various paths are available. So which path I am going to choose? Which one is the best one I am going to choose? These type of problems comes under the search problem. The third is the optimization problem. Optimization problem basically are the problem in which uh, we have a limited constraint. During that constraint we have to find out the feasible solution. So if we see the example here, like suppose we have suppose we have 7 toffees that we have to distribute among 3 students. So how we will be doing that? If we have to distribute it evenly, it is not possible for, so either we will give answer in yes or no. So it is no, answer is clear. In case of, if we'll take example of the search problem, we can see here there's a given set of nodes are available, and on that nodes a graph is given, and we want to find out the shortest path from this graph. So various paths are available, we can select any one of them. Next is the optimization problem. Given a cost function, what is the best feasible solution with under that constraint? So that also called as optimization problem. Like I have to go from here to Punjabi Bagh and I have only 50 rupees in my pocket. How can I go from this place to that place? So in that situation, constraint are there. And again, one more constraint they have given, that we have to reach in 1 hour only. Within 1 hour, we have to cover from here to that place. Okay. And we have a limited resources. Amount is also less. Along with that, the time is also less. So these type of problems comes under the optimization problem. We can solve these optimization problem with the help of deterministic or stochastic optimization algorithm. So first consider what is an algorithm. Algorithm is nothing but is a set of steps required to solve a particular problem. Like we have to make tea. So for that, the procedure is clear. Boil water, add tea, milk, sugar in it, wait for 10 minutes, filter the mixture. At the end, you will get the tea. If you will be having this procedure, the whole procedure step by step, it will be called as algorithm. Under this category, we have, if we focus especially on optimization problem, we have two broader category or two broader classification for these type of problem. Like exact algorithm we have, along with that we have heuristic algorithm. We have other names of that, like for exact algorithm we have deterministic, we also call it deterministic, we also call iterative. These are the algorithm which have direct solution with us. Means for the particular problem we have a finite solution for that. The heuristic one is some other names, we can also call them through stochastic method, approximate method, or meta heuristics also. So these two are the broad classification which these type of algorithm we use to solve particular problems. So if we'll see exactly what exact algorithm is doing, these algorithm gives guarantee, 100% guarantee to produce an optimal solution. Like you can see in the diagram a story type things which I have given. In the starting, suppose a problem was there in an office, and during that problem somebody gave a particular solution, and the people are working on that for long hours. Suppose I gave you a problem, you have to go from here to Chandigarh. Now there is one a single solution is this, that anybody can walk uh, on foot from here to Chandigarh. For sure he will be reaching over there, but it will take a long time. Okay, so the time would be there, but you will get the 100% guarantee. So there should not be time limit. Various complexity would be there, but at last you will get the 100% solution. That guarantee is there with the exact algorithm. While in case of heuristic, if you will say, you will be getting most optimal solution, not the exact solution. Like if we take example of COVID is happening nowadays. During this COVID situation, if we'll see during this COVID situation, what is happening now? if the government want to check how many people are COVID positive, for that every person have to give test for that. So it will take a huge time for them, and they will not be able to control that. So for that, what alternative they identified? They find out to track the person who is found as the COVID positive. So whom they have meet, they have tracked their history accordingly. They try to find out the most probability of the person who will be COVID positive, who have was in contact to the person who is COVID positive. So these type of heuristic algorithm they applied over there, and through that they were able to find out the maximum person uh, who have most probability to be COVID positive. Now let's take an analogy to exactly clear or understand the exact algorithm as well as this uh, or heuristic algorithm. So let's take the example of Bob and Jennifer. These are the two students present in a class, and the exam will be conducted after 1 month. Both have different features. Like Jennifer is very dedicated student. Bob is end time learner. When the exam will come, at that time only he will learn. So there was only 1 month to prepare the exam. So what Jennifer did, Jennifer read and memorize all the given pages in the book. On the other way, Bob, he took help from the teachers, he took help from his seniors, he took help from his friend and tried to identify the most frequent question that used to come here in the that used to come in the exam. So during the exam, after 1 month, Jennifer became prepared for whole syllabus, and she was very confident about that. And in case of Bob, he was just doing the frequently asked questions. So in that case, uh, Jennifer got 100% of solution, means 100% of result, while in case of Bob, he got only 60% of result. But for sure he got passed. For this condition, it is okay, means the exact solution is giving 100% result, while the heuristic algorithm is giving the most optimal result that they can get. Okay, so if we have suppose less time, like only 5 days are there, and suddenly you come to know that you have exam after 5 days, so in that case the Jennifer habit is very much clear that she have to read the whole book. So she managed and read only 20% of the book at during that time. While in case Bob used the same formula. He asked to the teacher, he asked to his friends, he asked to other colleagues. So uh, after asking with them, they come to know that only that frequently asked question he have covered. Okay, so when the result come, the situations were totally different, because the Jennifer completed only 20% syllabus, so she got approx 40% marks, while in this situation the heuristic approach based Bob, he got 60% marks, because only 5 days he learned in the last exam also, when 1 month before he was informed about the exam, and in this situation also when 40% exact, while in case of Jennifer, she could be able to get 40% because she got on less time for that, and she was going for a exact algorithm that she have to read each and every paper of the book. We can take another example also to better understand the things. uh, Suppose we have to find out the minimum sum of this tree. The size of the tree is very less, it's okay. So we can see here the first approach, if we go for the exact algorithm, first approach is to find out the sum of the branches, like 10 plus 20 plus 30. So the sum will be 60. The same way, 10 plus 3 plus 45, it will be 58. Okay, the similar way, 11, 44, 15. So every node or branch, we are going to find out the sum. Out of after calculating the sum of all the branches, we can identify the which one is minimum, and we can tell them easily. So exact algorithm again giving the guarantee that you will get 100% correct solution in that case. While if we move towards heuristic approach, the heuristic is basically a different approach. It will be inspired by someone, it will be someone guided by someone. So these type of approaches, what uh, we have decided, at every branch level, at every level of this tree, we will be identify which node is the minimum among the given one. Like here we have 10, 11 and 7. Out of 3, which one is minimum? We became greedy here and we have selected 7 over there. Okay, so we need not to search the remaining node, we can save our time in that case. Okay, the remaining node, if we can see, is there now 90 and 20. Which one we will be choosing? We have to choose 20 and the remaining 10 is there. So here we got the sum is 37 and we can see here, if we'll see the exact solution here, uh, the minimum answer was 17 and after that the second best, the near optimal solution was 37. So that is not bad if in less effort you are able to get that much answer. So I should say heuristic approaches are giving good answers for that. At least the second best answer she have given, this approach has given, and it is considered as good approach. Now which one is better in this case? If we'll see here, here we have suppose 64 leaves tree, and the another tree is having around 16,384 leaves. In both the cases, if I have to apply the, which one should I apply exact algorithm, or for both of them we should apply exact algorithm, or for any one of them, what should we do? If our size is less, then it's easy to compute the sum of all the nodes. Okay, but if our size is too high, like 16,384, the size is too high, it will take too much time. For that we should go for the heuristic approach. Okay, so we should select our algorithm according to our problem, and it is the most important task in case of optimization. Generally it has been observed that people are not able to identify their problem and is not able to select the appropriate method for their problems. Some of the example of these classes of exact and heuristic based approach, like exact is brute force search is there, gradient descent we used to apply over there. So for a convex problem it's okay, but if you have multiple peaks in your data, in that case gradient descent will not be that much effective. So various approaches are there, like in heuristic you can find out the hill climbing is there, simulated annealing, I think both have covered by Arun sir in last lecture. Now I am going to cover here particle swarm optimization and cross search optimization. So before that, let's see a optimization problem and try to understand exactly optimization problem and their challenges. So let me open my, give me a minute, please. Till now, if anybody is having any doubt, they can ask. So here I have taken a problem here. In that problem, what we are doing, we have multiple parameter, and based on that, those parameter, we are finding out the best shape for our problem. Like you can see here, various bars are there. These bars are basically telling us the colors, changing shape, changing direction, means move up and down wherever we want to go. We want to change the corner of the shape. So these parameters are there. If suppose you have to find out, you can see at the bottom of this page, f of x1, x2 up to x10, total 11 parameters I have in this problem. This is a toy problem, you can say, which we have formed and I have collected from some place from Sedi Mijli. So we are going to find out whether this problem, we are able to find out the feasible shape for myself. Okay, so let me tell you what these bars are doing. This bar, the first one is changing the color, you can see here, and after changing the color you can see along with that here the cost is also changing accordingly. Okay, so it is changing the color of the shape. Second one is again red, blue, and green RGB we have taken. So color we will be able to change with that. Okay. Apart from that, if we want to move up and down, that we can also do. Like we have to move from left to right and top to bottom. That can we can also do with the help of this one. This is to increase the length, and this is to increase the height. Okay, along with that, if we want to change the shape, like the corner shape I wanted to change, we can also do this one. Okay, so this type of things are there. Like now you can see that this figure is invisible for us. Okay, so now we have to, if suppose somebody gave you a task that you have these parameters, and these parameter value are suppose varying between 1 to 200, or say 1 to 1000, 11 parameters are there. How many permutation combination can you make for them? It will be a tough situation for you to make permutation combination for them. Okay, so what you can do, if we have to do it manually, what we can do, we have to change it accordingly, and we have to reduce it. We have to see this number that 913 is right now, no, it is decreasing. So wherever we are getting the minimum value. Okay, so I'm changing it, and what I seen that around 600 something, 660, we are getting the minimum one. If we are changing it again, it is increasing and color is changing. So let me see where I can get the minimum value. Around 720 I am getting. If I'm going below that, it will 790. It will be around 600 something. 696 is the minimum which we got. If we changing it, again it is increasing. Same 676, I think we got it. Now, if we are changing the position also, in that case also it is changing. Now the minimum it is going, if I am selecting it from here, suppose 574. Now I am changing its size. Okay, this is not affecting the left and right position, is not affecting the position, only affecting the values. So it is still invisible. Now I am changing it. It is visible here. Now you can understand how difficult is to set these parameters, and the different parameters are behaving differently, and get the minimum value and find out a feasible shape with that. Like here 676, this shape we got. So it is a very difficult task to tune the parameter, and here 11 parameters are there. So if it's as I have already told you, if its value is changing from 1 to 1000, so 1 to 1000 into 11, and you will make permutation combination of that, and with the help of exact method it is almost impossible task with that. So what we can do, we can apply nature inspired approaches here to solve the problem. Now I think you will be able to understand the what is the optimization problem here. Along with that, one more problem I want to introduce here, that I will be covering with the help of PSO also. That is a reliability problem. So let me introduce that also. A software reliability can be predict based on their behavior, how many faults we are getting in how many days. The cumulative number of failure, based on the cumulative number of failure, we are able to find out that. Means like on first day, our data says like this: on first day we have suppose 3 failures. On second day we got the failures becomes increased, we got suppose 5 failure. On third day we got 4 new failure and it becomes 9 over there. So suppose cumulative failure data we have. So for that, in that cumulative failure data, what we can do, we can apply a software reliability growth model to predict this behavior. So there are various growth model available in the market. I am considering here one, that is the Goel Okamoto model. So I'm writing the equation of that model here: 1 a into 1 minus e to the power minus pt, where a and B are the unknown parameter that will change according to data set, on which software we are working, on which problem, on what are the time duration is there. So these A and B will remain unknown over there, and T will be changing. T is basically telling us the first day, second day, third day. So these type of problems are the optimization problem. Here our parameters are unknown. Suppose one more a simple application I am writing here, like ax square plus bx plus c is a problem. Okay, what you did, you limit, you told that what is the best value of a, b and c on which you can get the zero value. Here x is varying. Okay, so you have different x data, x is varying. You have to find out these value. If these are the natural values, means so number of permutation combination will be again infinite. How best you can choose for this particular x data set, that is a again a optimization type of problem. It will take too much time to solve, because it's like in this case it is easy, because directly, if abc are unknown and x is the parameter, x is the values that are be changing, for that you have to find out it. So you can consider this type of problem as a optimization problem also. Along with that, few more problems are there, like text case selection problem. What we have, or many of you are from the CSC background, so you will be aware that in case of testing, regression testing especially, whenever we change our we do the change in our code, accordingly we need to update our test cases. So our test case pool becomes increased, becomes a higher size in that case. So it is becomes very difficult for a company, if suppose a software is running from past 5 6 years, so the test case size will becomes lakhs and more than lakhs sometime. So what will happen, if suppose they have a limited time and somebody gave them only one day to update this code, so they will not be able to perform that type of the testing. Means they will not be able to test all the available test case with them. Okay, so in that case the test case selection approaches can also be applied, and these approaches is again, if from a lakhs of data to identify the test cases which will be covering the test, which will be covering your fault. Okay, so those who will be redundant test cases, we can also remove that. So here in this type of problem also we can apply optimization approach. Apart from that, other engineering problems are there. Today here I will be covering software reliability growth model problem. The code I will be showing you, the changes, how will we will be doing that, I will be showing it to you. Now coming back to PPT and just start the particle swarm optimization. Till now, if anybody is having any doubt, please let me know so that I can answer your question. Any question till now? Now you are able to unmute yourself. If anybody have any question, please let me know. Otherwise, I am starting with particle swarm optimization. So I think no question. So particle swarm optimization is again a nature inspired approach, which is inspired by flock of birds, their foraging behavior, their communication strategy, how they interact with each other. On that behavior, particle swarm optimization algorithm has been developed. It is one of the best approach we can consider in uh, optimization techniques. So let's take a problem. Let's take a strategy here, means a problem here. Based on that, we will be able to understand how PSO is working here. So I have taken three persons here in a team: Arun, Abhishek, and Preeti. They are in a team and they have been given a task that they have to find out this treasure, which is given here. They have to find out this one. Okay. So if they have to find out this treasure, what they can do, they have to search it from different places. All the whole team will be using three different ways, and they will be start finding out where the treasure is. And suppose I have given one instrument to them. That instrument will get the frequency value, means some frequency type of things they will be getting, so that they will be able to identify whether they are reaching to the required position or not. So they can find out their objective value, means what objective is to find out this treasure, how effectively they are able to search it, are they at the best position or not. So they will be able to identify with that devices. That device has been given to all of them. So let's see here what type of strategy the particle swarm optimization uses. If they have to search in this search area, in this search space, they have to search. The first thing is what they have to do, they have to remember their personal best location. What is the personal best location? Suppose one Abhishek is moving from one place, so wherever he will move, he have to maintain his position, and out of those position, wherever he got the highest objective function value, that he has to maintain with him. Okay, that he has to store with himself, so that if sometime he will be moving to a wrong place, so that best value can help then out, can bias him to come towards the best solution. Okay. The second is the global best location. Every day when all the team members will be moving, at the end of the day, they have to maintain their personal best also. Along with that, if their current value at the end of the day, their current position is better than their personal best location, they have to check it to the global best also. If their position is better than the global best, then that will be considered as the team best solution. Means out of these three, which one is getting higher signal in that device will be the best signal which we are getting over there, that will be considered as a global best solution. Okay. All three will be having their personal best, and among that, the best position value that comes either today or in the last day, the best position received so far will also be stored and will be communicated to the neighborhood, means all the people will be able to know it. Okay. So that they can plan their route, and they can plan their way, how from which place to which place, and how they have to move from here to there. The third thing is here, they also have to maintain their directions, in which direction they are moving. Okay. So three important pillars are there for particle swarm optimization. First one, every particle or every team member, like we have taken a team here, every team member have to store its personal best location. The second one is the global best location they have to maintain among the team and communicate it with each other. And the third one is the current direction of the particular individual, in which direction he is moving. These three things they have to maintain. Now let's start how they will be finding out the position and what mathematical equations we can drive with it. So now Abhishek can move from to the three different direction, the global best in the different direction, personal best which he received at the different direction, and the current direction you can see in the different side. Okay. Now, if it has been decided that every day they have to go to 10 kilometer in every direction, means it will be a normal phenomena. If we'll take an example of a class, what will happen if suppose a topper student is there and few mediocre students are there? What will happen? The mediocre student will be influenced by that topper which is present in the class. Okay, so which type of habits or which type of learning he is doing, he will try to do that. So some influence from there also will take place. Along with that, what strategy he himself is doing, that will also play an important role. And the third one is the normal flow which is going on. Through that flow he is reading. Okay, the personal best is like the best strategy he applied and got the highest marks. That is also the personal best. So in all three directions he will be influenced. Okay, here in our problem, what we are considering it that the person had can move in all the direction 10 kilometers. Okay, now if he moves, the Bob moves from here, or Abhishek moves from here 10 kilometer in the current direction. Okay, same way 10 kilometers in the personal best direction, and the 10 kilometer in the 10 kilometer in this direction. So he can move in both the three directions. What will be the effective position? This will be the effective position because we have taken them as a vector value. Okay. Now, but in that case, if the previous case we see, there was no randomization. No random option was available in that case. If the random option was not there, what will happen? The same procedure he will follow. He will move from this place to this place, and again he will start moving from this place to this place. But it is not always sure. There are various other parameters also that need to be changed. Some stochastic nature should be there, otherwise it will be like a straight method and he will not be able to find out the best solution. So what we have decided now, like 2 into r. Okay, r is the random variable we taken out. 10 kilometer every day they have to move in one direction, and r is basically varying between 0 to 1. Okay, so if we are considering that r value is 1, then how much maximum he can go? So 2 into 1 into 10 means maximum 20 kilometer he can move. So if we want to see the coverage of this particular team member, the coverage will be this much. Mean the maximum this much he can cover with this random value. If we are taking it as a 0, so he'll not be covering anything because the value is 0. So he can be at this place only. Okay, or he will be lying somewhere here, any of the place between this covered area which we have given here. Okay, now let's see. Let me erase it. Now this is the area which Abhishek have covered, and out of this area at any place he would be. Now day 1 he was at this place where the arrow is, you can see here. Here Abhishek is available right now. When he will be reaching here, his main work will be to check whether his position is better than the personal best or not. In the day 1, every day, every member have to do this task. If his position is better than the previous one, the personal best, he will update that personal best. Okay, same way, if his position is better than the global best, he has to communicate that thing to the all other members, so that other members can be influenced with that position and can move in that direction and can reach up to the treasure. Okay, now on the second day, again there will be some coverage. So coverage can be like we can see here the 10 kilometer they have to go, and the 20 kilometer maximum they can go in a day by two. So first he took this direction, second he took this direction, and third is so if we'll see the coverage will be like this. Okay. In the same way, if we move to the third day, fourth day, and fifth day, the coverage will be increased. Means that much area, that much search space where the treasure is can be covered by Bob or Abhishek. Similar pattern will be followed by other members also. So like this, now you can see that one member have covered it and one member is able to find out the treasure. The coverage can show here directly. Okay. So that Preeti is able to cover that area. Okay, so we are able to find out. So our main purpose is to cover the maximum search space so that we will be able to find out the optimal solution. Okay. Now the second thing comes to the picture. If we'll see here, exploration and exploitation. These are the two important factors that we will be discussing in the coming slides also. Exploitation is basically intensification, that it's at a single place. Suppose somebody told you that uh, somebody have lost his dog, and dog is available in, suppose, say, X house. Okay. So first exploration will take place. What you will be doing, you will searching here and there in the whole city. After the exploration, you will be able to identify that somebody have seen in, say, X colony. In X colony, that dog was moving over there. When you will reach that X colony, after that the intensification process will take place. Then you will be trying to find out at whose home this dog is available. So exploration and exploitation plays an important role. By balancing the exploration and exploitation, we can find out the optimal solution. Like in our problem, which I have shown you, there was 11 parameters through which we were managing or balancing the shape of a product. Either that shape can be of a laptop, also can be a TV also. Okay, the shape, whether it is feasible or not, that we were identified through that. So in that again, the search space is huge because every parameter can move from 1 to 1000. So for all the whole search space, for all the 11 parameter moving from 1 to 1000, it becomes a tedious task. To manage that, you have to balance some exploration. You have explored that these parameters are the important one, their intensification is required. After identifying, you will be intensify those parameters. Okay. Now these are the three. If we'll mathematically try to uh, understand this strategy, three important factor has been identified. First one is the velocity. What was my velocity today? Second, distance from the personal best. Suppose highest I got 9.5 CGPA. How much I am away from that? That I have to identify. Suppose highest the student got 10 CGPA. How much distance I have with them? So global best is telling you the best solution identified so far, how much distance it has from me. Similar way, my best position is this one, how much I am deviating from that. And the third is the direction, in which direction I am moving. If suppose I am moving in different direction, my best and global best are in different direction, so my output will not be coming properly. So these things has to be maintained. For that, we made few mathematical equations here. You can see here the next position, the first day position is clear, that XD you have run. So what will be the next position for you? Your next position will be your current position plus your velocity. Here we are considering it per unit wise, we are considering it because we are taking it as a vector. So we are considering it as a per unit. Otherwise, if you will be saying that a distance cannot be added to a velocity. So we are considering it per unit. So per unit time, that's why we are adding it directly. So our next position will be in that direction with that particular velocity we will be moving. So we will be able to find out the next position or the next value of my parameter or next value of my particle with the help of this equation. Now, two equation we formed, how the velocity will be changed, means direction which we have considered, which we have to store, how the direction will be changing. The direction will be changing by three important component. First is the cognitive component, second is the social component, and third is the inertia. So what we did here, earlier I was giving the example in which I was doing 2 into r into 10. I was saying that I have fixed that 10 kilometer you have to move. Okay. And during that 10 kilometers, some random component would be there that will be varying from 0 to 1 and multiplied with 2. Okay. So the constant value which I have fixed, it was 2. Now, if you'll see in case of velocity, you have three important factor here. First one is W, that is inertia. Third one is C1, that is cognitive component. And third one is C2, that is social component. Why it is social? Because you are communicating to the other team members. You are telling them their best position. Cognitive, you know your best position, the best food you have find out from that place. You have that position. Okay. So how far you are from them. And the third one is direction, the factor which will be maintaining the your exploration and exploitation. Okay. Now, these two equations are important. On the base of these two equations, the whole particles from optimization algorithm has been developed. Okay. Now the exploration and exploitation. In order to do exploitation and exploration, this W plays an important role here. Okay. So if you'll see here, this W, this in the algorithm, you will be seeing that W will be varying from 0.9 to 0.2. Okay. So in the starting iterations, we will be keeping it 0.9 and gradually we will be decreasing it to 0.2. Means in the starting, you will be doing the long jump. Means you will be exploring the area. When you will be reaching at the end, and your values will become down. So your this particular component, this value will become less. So in the starting, you have high speed. Okay. So you have speed. Along with that, you have this coefficient. So with 90% of speed energy you can put in that particular direction, so its weightage is high. Okay. Which will be going down, decreasing gradually during the number of iteration, during the number of generation, whatever you say to them. These C1 and C2 is the two different parameter, and these values are generally being kept as 2. So C1 is also considered as 2 and C2 is also in most of the time which implementation I did, I find out that 2, I am getting the best values for them. So we are keeping it 2. So what is happening? The same with for some problem it can be changed, because for what I am considering here, the same weightage I am giving to my personal best as well as my the global best. Okay. So global best solution, how much I have. Along with that, some random component we have added. This R1 and R2 is nothing but it is changing value from 0 to 1. So this is our pseudocode. Okay. So this is our pseudocode. You can see here. First is very simple. You have to initialize the controlling parameters. Okay. So these are the parameter. N is the number of particles, how many birds or particles you are considering in the group. C1 and C2, I already told you, these are the constant value that you need to update. You need to put over there to select local best, how far you are from that. With that constant you have added, and the same way for the global best. Similar way, you have a W min and W max. W min is basically 0.2, which I told you. You can have yours, you can check, because these parameters are the tuning parameters. Based on these parameter value, your performance will vary. Okay. Similar way, you have velocity, maximum velocity, how much you can have, because what will happen if you will change the velocity, or means the direction you will be considering, based on that direction you have to maintain the limit also. You should not cross the lower and upper bound of this thing. Okay, that particular limit. Suppose you have to select test cases, you have total 10 test cases, out of that you have to select 2. So during selection of that, whatever population you generated, in that population, whether it is not happening, that you select the 11th one, which is not available over there, because the numerical is going on. Na? In that case, the computation is going on. So you should have a upper limit also. So maximum value of velocity you have to define. Same way, the maximum number of iteration, how many time you were to repeat this process, you want to update this process so that you can get the best answer. Second step, to initialize the population. Generally, we use to initialize random population. At some places, wherever we have direct methods or some options are available, in that we also can also guide them rather than taking random. Okay, so in that, what we will be doing, we will be collecting every particle over there, calculating the objective of the particle, updating its local best, that I have already told you. So for each particle, we will be updating their local best, global best. We will be, after that, we will updating our inertia weight, which is gradually changing after every iteration, and updating the velocity and position of the particle. Every time we have to calculate the objective function, the objective function will be able to tell us whether we are reaching to the best position or not. If any one of you is having any doubt till now, you can please ask me so that I can answer you.
Sir, I have a small question.
Yes, sir, please.
This is Hariom Upadhyay.
Yes,
मैं
sir,
जानना
please.
चाह रहा था कि ये पर्सनल बेस्ट कैसे पता चलेगा?
पर्सनल बेस्ट सर, मेरी जो बेस्ट पोजीशन निकल के आई सिर्फ मेरे वाले के अंदर, मतलब मेरी एक कहीं ना कहीं स्टार्टिंग में, जैसे अगर मैं यहाँ पे आपको कोड में दिखाना चाहूँ, उससे क्लियर हो जाएगा आपको।
अरे जो
स्टार्टिंग में
आपने जो पीपीटी दिखाया था उसमें दिखाइए जरा सा, फिर मैं एक मिनट बताता हूँ। पीपीटी भी जिसमें पर्सनल बेस्ट था रेड कलर से, हाँ ये
जी जी
रेड
सर,
रेड ये जो
जी
रेड
सर।
कलर वाला है, ये पोजीशन कैसे पता चलेगी, ये वाली पोजीशन, क्योंकि इसी पे आपका सारा
सर
कुछ लिखा हुआ है।
हाँ, मैं बता रहा हूँ सर। इसके साथ साथ सर ग्लोबल पे बहुत ज्यादा टिका हुआ है, वो मैं अभी कोड में आपको चेंज करके चीजें दिखाऊंगा। पर्सनल बेस्ट क्या होगा, सपोज मैंने इस आइट्रेशन में मैंने सर्च करना शुरू किया, मैं उस पे ले जाऊं डायग्राम पे, यहाँ क्लैरिटी आ जाएगी। ठीक है, सपोज मैंने यहाँ सर्च करना शुरू किया सर, ठीक है। अब मेरा ग्लोबल बेस्ट जो था, जो सारे लोगों ने सब अपने अलग अलग एरिया में सर्च कर रहे हैं, ठीक है सर। अब मैंने जब सर्च करना शुरू किया, तो मेरा जो बेस्ट था, वो जो प्रीवियस स्टार्टिंग में तो मेरा कुछ बेस्ट था ही नहीं, तो मेरे जो भी पोजीशन आई वो बेस्ट समझी गई। ठीक है, तो मेरे जो पार्टिकल थे, जैसे मैं मैथमेटिकली लिख दूं तो शायद ज्यादा बेहतर आपको समझ आ जाए। एक सेकंड जरा सा दीजिएगा सर, अनोटेट कर देता हूं। मैं इसको उस वाली प्रॉब्लम पे ले जाता हूं सर, ए और बी वाली पे। ठीक, मैंने स्टार्टिंग में एक रैंडम सॉल्यूशन जनरेट किया कि मैंने कहा ए की वैल्यू 4 आ गई एंड बी बिकम्स 5। क्लियर है सर? ऑन दैट 5, 4 एंड 5, मैंने ये एक फॉर्मूला जो मैंने अभी डिस्कस किया था, ऑन दैट फॉर्मूला आई फाइंड आउट द ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन वैल्यू। निकल आई सर? ठीक है, कि मेरे कितने फेल्योर आज के दिन आने चाहिए थे बेस्ड ऑन दिस ए एंड बी, वो मेरे यहाँ निकल आए। आई विल find out the difference from this value which I have received here with the actual value. Actual मेरे पास डेटा है,
एक्चुअल है हमारे पास डेटा।
हाँ, एक्चुअल है ना सर मेरे पास, which I have experienced. तो उनके बीच का डिफरेंस की जो वैल्यू थी सर, ये मेरी ऑब्जेक्टिव वैल्यू बन गई। इतना समझने में कोई दिक्कत सर?
नहीं, ठीक है।
अब सर मेरे पास 3 पार्टिकल हैं, पहले वाले को 4.5 मिला, दूसरे वाले को 3.2 मिला, तीसरे वाले को 3.6 मिला। इस 3.6 वाले की सपोज बेस्ट थी, ये मैं कैपिटल ABC ले लेता हूँ। दिस C वाज हैविंग बेस्ट, इनके पास थी 3 और 2, तो फर्स्ट आइटरेशन में ये बन गई ग्लोबल बेस्ट और ये इसकी पर्सनल बेस्ट भी बनेगी, क्योंकि इसके पास तो है यही। ऐसे ही ये इसकी पर्सनल बेस्ट बनेगी क्योंकि इसके पास और कुछ भी नहीं है, लेकिन ये ग्लोबल बेस्ट नहीं बन सकती क्योंकि ये ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन में उससे कम है। ऐसे ही ये इसकी बन गई। अब जब अगला आइटरेशन परफॉर्म होगा आफ्टर अपडेटिंग दैट वेलोसिटी एंड पोजीशन, so he got something say 3.3 and 2.2, he got something 4.5 and 5.5. It might be possible these 5.5 and 4.5 आप गारंटी नहीं दे सकते कि ये इस वाले से बेहतर था या नहीं था। अगर ये इससे बेहतर है तो ये पर्सनल बेस्ट बन जाएगी, अगर ये सबसे बेहतर है तो ये ग्लोबल बेस्ट भी बनेगी, पर्सनल बेस्ट भी बनेगी। ऐसे आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं सर।
ठीक है, थैंक यू।
ठीक है सर। So let's come to the coding part. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा सिंपली मैं आपको एक बार, बिल्कुल सिंपल कोड है, no constraint given over there. Simply I want to tell you on a 10 dimension problem कि कैसे कैसे ये पूरा जो भी whatever I have taught you, how we are doing here in the coding part. After that I will show the simulation on MATLAB also, and will change these parameter like tuning parameter like W, C1, C2, these which I am changing. I will be changing that and showing that how the behavior is changing. So let's start from the beginning. Those who don't know MATLAB, no need to worry, it's not very tough code. Let me start the pointer. Close all, clear all is to, and CLC due to clear the search space and to remove whatever, like we have method over there, na? CLR, SCR, like this in C programming, the same we do here. Okay, the problem dimension I have taken as 3. I was discussing the problem dimension of 2 in my problem, 1 minus e to the power minus bt. For this problem, the dimension was 2, only the 2 parameters was there. So what we were doing, we were maintaining a population in the starting, that random population of size n. यहाँ पे n क्या लिया है, number of population से 300 ली है, तो 300 की population बनेगी. So every population will be maintaining different values of a and b. ये हम अपना स्टार्टिंग में मेंटेन करेंगे, रैंडम पॉपुलेशन जनरेट होगी। तो रैंडमली, अब मेरा सर्च स्पेस वाली कहा, सपोज आई एम सेइंग कि ए वेरीज फ्रॉम 1 to 150, दैट आई हैव डिसाइडेड। A and B? A and B as the model parameters, sir. Goel locomotor model pair. How many number of failures maximum can be there in the software in case of software reliability, and B is the another component which is affected that. So A is, suppose I am saying, is varying between 1 to 150 and B is varying from 1 to 10. So what will happen in that case? Suppose these 300 or 30 population, whatever I am taking, this whole matrix will maintain the different values of this. Means first can have 20, it can have 5, it can have 30, it can have 4, it can have 35, it can have 6. In general, in most of the cases which I have observed, generally people take it as a random values. Okay, but if you have a heuristic that can support meta heuristic, you can generate population from that also, the initial population. That will help you out to converge the problem, converge to the solution very fastly. Okay, now we have given the lower bound and upper bound, like I have given, this is the lower bound and upper bound for me. Lower bound is 1, upper bound is 150, means I cannot choose my parameter value beyond 150 and lesser than 1. The same way we have taken here 10. Maximum up to 10 I can go, minimum minus 10 I will go. The dimension is 10 here. Okay, so 10 a matrix will be formed. So every particle will be having minimum 10 subparts in that. Maximum number of iterations, the same process of updation, how many times I will be doing it. So that is 500. This is the W inertia which we have considered, which is considered as the exploration and exploitation parameter, how I will be tuning my meta heuristics. C1, C2 is generally considered as 2. Now, the first part of the algorithm, what you did, you for every component in the population, the NOP which you have taken as 300, in general it is writing as 300. In general we take 30 to 50, we don't take more than that, because it will increase the complexity. Jitna size agar le lenge to hame वैसे ज़्यादा problem होगी. Generally we take 30. So by mistake typing में I have kept it 300. Okay, so 1 to NOP means for every all the given 30 particles which we have taken, what we are taking, we have make a structure here. How that structure is doing? In the starting we have swarm. Under the swarm we have particle. Okay, and the second we have G-best, global best. Under the particle we have various component like X we have our objective value. Okay, the same way here we have X and objective value. What is this X and O? X is the position and O is the objective function value. At every place we are maintaining it, otherwise we will not be able to recall where the what are the value was there. The same way with the particle, every particle is maintaining its position as well as its this one. Along with that, it is also maintaining its velocity. So 3 components are there in case of particle. Okay, and the 2 components are there in case of global best, because in global best we don't calculate velocity. So in the starting you can see here swarm dot particle k is nothing but the variable which it will change from 1 to 30. So we can say for every particle upper bound minus lower bound into random value of which one, means randomly we took 1.1, 1.2, we are multiplying it with the difference of that and adding it to lower bound so that it will no don't go beyond lower bound. So random value we identified. तो मेरे पास क्या होगा यहाँ पे 10 by 10 का हर एलिमेंट का, ठीक है, 30 एलिमेंट्स हैं, सो 10 10 की एक मैट्रिक्स बन जाएगी इतना करने पे. Along with that, we kept the p best value as the 0, 1 and objective value as the infinity. ठीक है, because we are considering this time as a minimization problem, तो हमें इससे minimum ही मिलेगा, we will update it. Okay, अगर हम maximum के लिए जाते we used to put it minus infinity, तो हमें उससे हमेशा बड़ा मिलता, तो we keep going. जैसे we do in a bubble sort and all these sorting technique, the same procedure we will be following here. In the starting, the swarm G best X again 0 and the infinity we have kept. So I don't think so anybody will be having any doubt here till this part. Now moving towards the right hand side. Now we have population with us, random population. Now we have to iterate our process to the maximum number of iteration. Maximum number of iteration we have kept as 500. Inside that loop, what we did, where's my pointer here? Okay. Now for every population, what we are doing, we are maintaining a local variable here, current X and current object, means current position, and the object. What is FOBJ? FOBJ is a function in which we will be passing our this position and it will be returning us the objective function value. जैसे हमारे केस में ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन क्या था, ये था, तो व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी कैन राइट ए फंक्शन हियर, फंक्शन, okay, so we can write objective function or like obj, fobj name they have given, we will be passing x to it and it will return us this value. Okay, so how I can write here, थोड़ा सा ज्यादा वैसा हो गया, function Suppose this is the output value equals to f obj. We will be passing x here. This is obj. Here what we will be doing, we will be calculating O equals to a into 1 minus exp of minus b into t. So it will be returning me the 0 value. Okay, O value. So here we will be finding out the current object value. If our current object value, the current objective value of this particular single particle, the kth one, is lesser than, because we are going for a minimization problem, it is lesser than the p best. In the first case, it will be minimum because it was infinite. So we will get the better list. So we will update our personal best. At the same time, we will also checking it with the global best. Any doubt in that? So our local and global, both we have to check our position, updated position with the local one also and with the global one also. Okay. After that, what we are doing, we are updating our weight inertia. What we are doing, W maximum minus. In the starting, it was 1 upon, like 0.9 minus 1 upon, okay, 1 into W max minus W min, 0.7 upon maximum iteration, 0.9. Maximum iteration is 500. If you will divide it with 500, this value will become very smaller value. So difference will be very less. Okay. But whenever your number of iteration will increase, this at any moment of time, it will become 500. So 500 minus 500 into the difference, 7. So at that time, you will get maximum value of 2. So it will be decreasing gradually. Like this, it will be decreasing. And when it will be decreasing, your exploration will be reduced and your exploitation will be increased in that case. Any doubt in this? Now, give me a minute, please. Let me take the pointer. Yes. After that, what you are doing, you are updating this with the equation which we have taken, W and the position which we have x plus C1 R1 x plus C2 R2 x. With this, the same equation we have written here. Okay. And x minus the p best and g best. Same thing we did here. So we updated our value. Whatever is the best value, we will be able to find out throughout the algorithm. This process will keep on continuing to find out the best values. And at the end, we will be selecting the global best value. That will be our locally optimal, the best optimal solution would be that. Yahan tak agar if anybody is having any doubt, please let me know. Now I can move to the MATLAB part. So I'm considering it that it is clear to you. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sorry, we can proceed.
Now moving to Sir MATLAB part. The same code we have here. It was running. I don't think so there will be any logic to show it, but if you want, I can. It is giving the best answer and the value is changing. Rather than doing it, it's better to show this one. The two codes which I have made for you people today's. This one is the PSO simulation. Here the same which I was showing it to you, the same parameter values I have selected here. Is my screen visible to you all?
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Not visible. Wait a minute, please. Okay, now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay, thank you. Now see here, we have objective function. What is our objective function? It is given here. This is our objective function. Okay. we have taken this as an objective function, and we are going to show you how the particles are moving, how they are changing their position, and whatever change we will made in the particle swarm optimization, what effect we will be getting over there. So initially my parameter was 0.9. You can see here maximum number of iteration I have taken 200, maximum velocity 6. The weight inertia which we have taken initially 0.9, 0.2 as the minimum value of that. So जब iteration finish होंगे, its value will become that. C1 and C2, both the values are taking as two values I have taken, and for that I have made the code. So let's see what I want to show you. In the starting, the particles were at the different position, and now they are trying to converge and find out the local solution. Our local solution is lies here. Now you can see after few iteration, they will converge to a single point. Total 200 iteration I have taken. I hope that much is enough for this particular problem. And these iteration you need to change according to the problem. Different problem need to require. Some problem they converge early, some problem they don't converge early. For that you need to take 500, 1000, 2000 number of iterations for that. Now you can see they have almost reached the location.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is converging, sir.
Oh, I can stop it now and can show the other changes. Okay, so I'm stopping it.
Yes, sir.
Now see. Now I am changing the W value. I'm changing the maximum and minimum number of weights value. I'm keeping it 0.2. Both the values is 0.2. So what will happen? W minus W, that whatever factor we were doing. So negligible change would be there and its value will be around 0.2 only. So let's see. If we are reducing our weight, it is coming faster with a faster rate and converging rather than the previous one. So what is your comment on that? Is it better? Why don't we keep 0.2 only? If on 0.2 with a faster rate we can converge. If we'll put both the values at the minimum one, our exploitation will become very high, but it doesn't guarantee that you will not lead to the premature convergence. Means you will hit into the, you will got stuck. It might be possible you can get stuck in the local minimum solution. So let me take the pen and let you know what I want to say you. Suppose I have various peak in my data. ये मेरा सर्च स्पेस है, ये मेरे बहुत सारे पीक हैं. Suppose I randomly I have various parameters here. All these parameters, and when I converge them very fastly, what can happen? They can got stuck in this parameter. In this valley, if they got stuck, how can they reach to this place? Will they able to identify कितनी दूर भी कोई एक best solution पड़ा होगा? इसलिए एक्सप्लोइटेशन करने से क्या हुआ? जो कंपोनेंट यहाँ था, suppose these are the component which was placed here. A single component was here. कुछ कंपोनेंट इधर जो ज्यादा थे, उन्होंने समझा कि ये बेस्ट है, इन्हें भी उस टाइम तक का बेस्ट नहीं मिला, तो ये सब इधर को इन्फ्लुएंस हो गए rather than finding out this one here. So yes, all these parameter is trying to come here at this position. तो उससे आपको क्या नुकसान हो रहा है? उससे आपका कन्वर्जेंस जो है वो होता जा रहा है, मतलब आप एक ग्लोबल सॉल्यूशन को छोड़ते जा रहे हैं. Got my point? Now, the second one, if I am changing it from 0.9 and 0.9, what effect we will be getting? Run. They will be coming together but will not converge faster. You can say it might be possible they will not converge at all, क्योंकि वो एक्सप्लोर ही करते रह जाएंगे, एक्सप्लॉइट करेंगे ही नहीं प्रॉपर्ली. You can see in the command line also there is no change in the answer. The minimum value is 0.04 and it is remains same. That's why we were decreasing this parameter gradually. Okay. Now I'm changing it to 0.2 again. Now, if I am putting it 0, means C1 is 0 means जो personal best था, that we are living, that component we are living. Personal best हम consider नहीं कर रहे. Every time we are influencing towards the global best. अपना कुछ नहीं बचा, जो भी टॉपर था क्लास में सिर्फ उसी की तरफ सोच रहे हैं. Then we are able to converge now. You can see here. Global best के बेस पे we are able to converge. It will take time because the personal best can give you the some other better facility. Okay, so that's why the author have taken it. Now, if I am changing this parameter to 0, means I am not considering any global best. मैं ये मान रहा हूं कि मैं ही सबसे होशियार हूं. अब देखिए, सब अपने अपने एरिया में अपने आप को होशियार मान के बैठ गए और कुछ भी नहीं हुआ, कोई कन्वर्ज ही नहीं हुआ. अपने का ही बेस्ट निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Now the last part of this particular algorithm, where you have to make changes so that you can implement or you can update your problem. Like for this one, I made this parameter estimation problem I made for today's class. Here you can see parameter is same. In the whole algorithm, you need not to change anything until unless you don't want to change some equation level changes in the meta heuristic. The same code will be available on net and you can get it. Where you have to do change, you have to make your objective function according to your problem. What was my objective function? A into 1 minus e to the power minus bt. That I have kept in this table. What I did here, you can see here, I have fixed my lower bound from 0.1 to 150 and 0 to 100. Okay. And my dimension was 2. If my dimension was 3, I will be putting here 3. So what I will do, I will request my main code, the front code, which will be initiating the whole code, to get these parameters from there. Means lower bound values, that is 0.1 up to 150, and the lower bound value 0 to 100, which I have taken, and the dimension is 2. I can show you here in this code. These are the few matrices that I have taken. The total number of search agent I have considered 30 only. 200 iterations I have considered. I call this file which I have shown you. Function name, in the 17 number function I did changes. That's why I have kept here F17. It will be returning you the function as well as dimension, as well as upper bound, and as well as LB. From where you are getting function. Let me show you. Here we have given as @F17. So in the same file you can see here below 17 is given here. Here I have done the coding. I have load my data set. So let me clear everything. Seal clear. Let me load it. This is my data set. What I have in my data set? Weeks. Total, how many weeks data I have? 10 weeks data I have. Cumulative number, first day it was 3 failures, second day 15, third day 13, fourth day 26. So cumulative number of failures were this. So I have loaded my data set here. This is my equation. Cumulative number of failure. What I am doing here? This L1 is giving me the A value, because you can see here in this function, two parameter has been passed. One is L. L is a array of 30 elements. Okay. 30 elements of 2 dimension. So what I am getting, first dimension I picked, that becomes A. The second dimension I picked, this becomes B. So you can see here A, this becomes A into 1 minus exponential of minus, this becomes B, and T is I, because I is minimum to maximum. It is increasing 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. There was no change in that. That's why I have taken a simple formula. I is equals to 1 to something. Okay. Cumulative number of failures, I have subtracted it from them and find out the sum and taking the average of that. Whatever difference I am getting, that I am collecting here, and that is my objective function value. If suppose I have to solve another problem, in that case, I will be passing these 3 parameters here in this case, and based on these 3 parameters, I will be finding out the difference. जैसे मुझे क्या करना था, मैंने एक इक्वेशन लिखी थी, ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी का लिखा था ना अभी, ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी, इट शुड बी 0. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, आई विल बी पासिंग ए एरे, जो मेरा डायमेंशन होगा वो 3 होगा, फिर 4, 5 and 6. Okay, yeah, minus 6. When I will be putting into this equation, I will be finding out, because I know the answer, it is 0. So I will be finding out the difference, how much I am differing from it. That becomes my objective value that I have to minimize. When, what will be the minimum value? The my answer is coming 0 and the actual answer is already 0, that we have to achieve. So if I will be reaching towards 0, then it will be the best solution for me. So similarly, you have to write your objective function, and this objective function will be tuned by the optimization algorithm. Okay, so let me show you the code which I made, and let me show you the answer. Particles from optimal. These are the lines I have written to show you the how the data is coming into the Excel. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. It will be giving me 3 Excel files, CSA_GO_1. These 3 files will be, it is stopped. I can see the file. I have to open it here only, otherwise you will not be able to see. So these are the parameter value. You can see there is not much difference. 5 times I run it to show the variation, whether much variation is coming or not. Every time the different answer it will be giving. Okay, so in general we used to perform 15 runs at least. Okay, so that mathematically we can show by applying ANOVA or pairwise test, we can apply and we can prove that our results are best. To show that we should take at least 15 to 30 runs, and these are the values which I am getting. You can say it is giving 7, 13, 20, 26, 31, 36. And what was my actual value? This CF, you can say 3, 5, 13, 26, 33. It's a similar pattern I am getting. And this is the evaluation parameter which I have considered: bias, mean square error, PRR, and other parameters. tail states. They are the 4 parameters which I calculated. So if you, any one of you having any doubt in particle swarm optimization implementation, and if you want to apply it on on your problem and having any doubt, you can let me know. I think it is clear to everyone. Should I
Hello.
continue? Yes.
Yes, Ankur sir, you can continue, sir.
Okay. So we have around half an hour. So quickly, I don't have that much time in that because it's very difficult to cover that.
Yeah.
But a little bit of introduction in 10-15 minutes of crow search algorithm I wanted to give. So let's see a video first.
Sir, video is not showing.
Okay, I am sharing. Wait a minute, please. What he is doing, he is hiding few pieces of meats, and the crow have already seen that. He have shown to the crow is sitting somewhere else, and it is near to him. He just hiding that food. Now what the crow is doing, he have find out that food from that hidden place. Now he is checking it out whether somebody have seen him or not, because his behavior will be different if somebody have seen it. That we will be discussing in the algorithm also. And if somebody have not, some other crow have not seen it, then his behavior will be different. Now just hiding the place, you can see his digging the grass and putting on that.
Sir, voice is not.
मैं बता
Sir,
दूंगा.
voice is not coming. Okay.
Not an issue. पहला क्लियर था ना, जहां तक का बताया था.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What it does, if suppose here मैं इसकी voice ही बंद कर देता हूँ, then I do commentary on that basis. What he does, he put that food here, he hide that food here, and dig some grass and put it over there. After that, he find out that some other crow have seen it, that is flying right now. He have seen that. So what he is doing, he just making them fool and pretending that he is hiding food at another place and just start digging at that place. He is trying to make him fool. That's why he is digging here. No food is here. Food he have already uh, hide at the another place. Now making the
Yeah.
fool of another crows. So based on this behavior, this whole meta heuristic has been designed. how they are hiding their food. Okay, mostly meta heuristic, if you will be seeing physics based strategy people have used, but if I talk about the animals, mostly is the foraging behavior. It is basically the way how better you can search your search space with the help of equations. How many better search you can perform, that much better result you can get. And the particle swarm optimization results are really awesome. In the literature, various other algorithms are available, but till now it is very difficult to beat the results of particle swarm optimization. Okay, now come to the another part and let me tell you what we have with Crow. Due to time limitation, I could not cover it fully, but at least you will be able to get some bit idea. Crow search optimization came in 2016. Various variant has been come after that, and you will be surprised that particle swarm optimization around 50 to 60 variant I have experienced myself. I have seen. So various uh, again with the Crow search also various other updations have been come in Crow search algorithm, and Crow is a bird and their social interaction based on that, it is inspired from that. It is an intelligent bird which have large brain relative to their body size. Okay, they lives in group, that's why we call flock. They hide their food in the hiding place. They can memorize these places and retrieve the hidden foods even after several months. Means if suppose he put it at some place, after some month also he will at whenever he required, like we save our money and put it at some place, the same procedure they do. Okay, the crow can do thievery by following of the other crows in order to watch their food hiding places and steal the hidden food. Matlab, they are searching the food. If they have seen the other crow, they are hiding their food at one place, they will go there and will steal that food. If a crow feels that another crow is following him, it moves to the another place far away from the food's hiding place in order to fool the thief. जो रेगुलर प्लेस था वहां से छोड़ के कहीं और पहुंच जाएंगे to show it that they have not hide this food at this place. That I have already shown you in the video. Now, how the optimization algorithm is working on this behavior. Now, what they did, like in the particle swarm optimization, you were randomly initialize the position of the particles. The same phenomena is being applied here, and in 99.99% meta heuristic uses the same formula. So what they did, they took a population of crows, did the initialization over there in the search space. They want to spread it in the search space so that they will be able to identify the best solution or can cover the maximum area of the search space. ठीक है, सर्च स्पेस का मतलब क्या है? सर्च स्पेस जैसे इफ आई हैव शोन यू a into 1 minus e to the power minus bt, my equation. So a was starting from 1 to 150, any value could be there. Similar way the b 1 to 10, any value could be there. So this is the search space, the values between 1 to 10 or between 1 to 50, that values are the search space. For similar way, for testing problem, which are the total 100 test cases I have, out of that 5 I have to select. So 1 to 100 is the my search space. Without repeating that, what combination we are picking from that, that is my search space. Now initialization is over. Population contain n solutions. The same procedure which we were doing, we are doing here. There we are talking it as the position value. Same we are taking as a vector. Here again we are taking as a position. So x1 at first iteration, at second t will be varying from 1 to 10 and d is the dimension over there. जैसे वहां पे थी हमारी प्रॉब्लम में 2 डायमेंशन थी, यहाँ पे d डायमेंशन की बात कर रहे हैं. So again similar matrix I made, the similar type of matrix they will maintain. This matrix will show where the crows are sitting in the starting. Now the best feature crow has memory. So like we were doing over there, it's very easy to compare with the meta heuristics. What we were doing, I was saying it was maintaining their personal best. You look here, memory initialization, it is containing the memory of every crow. What he will do in that memory, he will store the best place to hide the food, ताकि जब भी whenever he required he can reach there and can find out the food. तो वही जो पार्टिकल स्वार्म ऑप्टिमाइजेशन में आपका इंडिविजुअल बेस्ट था, पर्सनल इंडिविजुअल बेस्ट था, द सेम थिंग इज हियर इन फॉर्म ऑफ मेमोरी. Okay, the solution will be updated, its fitness will be calculated. After calculating the fitness, what they are doing, how the crow will change their position. The crow will update their position based on another random crow in the population. जो आपकी population में बाकी crows हैं, उनके हिसाब से check करेगा. What he will do, he will pick any one of the queue, any one of the random, किसी को भी choose कर लेगा crow को, and will check whether, will take a probability whether he have seen him or not. That is the term called as awareness probability. Whether the another crow is aware about this or not. After that, the second parameter is flight length here. The flight length will decide whether it has to move far from that crow or this crow has to come near to that crow. This movement will be decided based on this. Now coming to this slide, this is the main theme of this algorithm. There are 2 states given. First state says, if crow J does not watch crow I when it is following it. What does it mean? When I was searching the food, okay, I was storing my food, I am not aware about this, that some other crow have seen me. Based on that, what decision I will take? 2 conditions were there. If I am aware about this, that Abhishek have seen me, what I will do? I will pretend like he have not seen me. I will go to the another place and will be doing acting to store the food over there. Okay, I wanted to make him fool. In that case situation, the position change will be there. The second thing is, the second state says, the another state happened when the crow J knows, I already know he have seen me. This stage is I am aware. And if I am not aware, what I will do? If I am aware, what I will do? Now, coming back to this previous slide. If I am not aware, what I will be doing? I will be putting the food, और उस food का पता किसको है? J को पता है, उसकी memory के food का पता है, तो वो क्या करेगा? He knows that he will pick that food. Second case में क्या होगा? I am not aware. Like look here at this equation number 2. Rj is the random probability of this, that I am aware it or not. इससे पता लग जाएगा. अगर मैं aware हूं तो मैं क्या करूंगा? I will pick a random position, कहीं भी चला जाऊंगा उससे दूर, ताकि उसको ना पता चले. तो मैं एक नई रैंडम पॉपुलेशन जनरेट करूंगा. और अगर मैं अवेयर नहीं हूं तो मैं उसको उसी जगह पिक रख दूंगा और another will try to steal that out. Based on this phenomena, they update their positions. One more parameter is the flight length. This one, FL. If FL value is greater than 2, greater than 1, okay, it greater than 1, then this crow 1 will leave it and move toward away from this crow. उस वाले क्रो को जो बाकी सर्च स्पेस में थे उसको छोड़ देगा और आगे चला जाएगा। यहां बता देता हूं एक बार, दिस वाज द सर्च स्पेस। अब मेरे ये अलग अलग क्रो हैं। इट हैज टू अपडेट इट्स पोजीशन, ओके, विद रेस्पेक्ट टू दिस रैंडम वन। इफ फ्लाइट लेंथ इज हाई तो मैं यहां जाऊंगा, इफ फ्लाइट लेंथ इज लेस तो मैं यहां जाऊंगा। This will maintain its exploration and exploitation. Whatever value of FL I am getting, if it is lesser than 1, then my flight length will be, मैं near search space में घूमूंगा, so exploitation ज़्यादा होगा. When FL is high, then exploration will take place. And what about with this awareness probability, what it is doing? It is doing the randomness. Suppose all the points got stuck here, like these type of situation, all the points got stuck here. Now they have to reach to the optimal solution, which is this one. So this random one, what it is doing, it will check with another crow and will search for a random one. When mathematically you will generate the random position, it is not sure that you will get here. You can get here also. So there is a chance that you can come out from this convergence, this premature convergence stage, wherever you local optimal solution, wherever you have got stuck. So you can come out with the help of this awareness probability, which you have taken here. Okay. So this algorithm is based on this. The whole is written here. Set the initial value, flight length, awareness probability, initialize the population. Okay, this procedure is same. All the meta heuristics you will be saying almost same phenomena, same structure, only equation changes there. Now see here, if you will compare it with the equation of particle swarm optimization, there they have one parameter, this one. This parameter was almost same and third parameter is missing. That is global best के नजदीक जाने का. So everybody is applying their ways. Okay. So with that ways, they are trying to find out the best solution. And we have around 250 meta heuristics right now in the market. Now people are making many more, but the no optimal solutions we are getting. These are the few challenges, problems available. That's I have taken from a paper of Jing-Sing Yang. He was the co-author of Cuckoo Search and Firefly, a renowned author. So these are the 5 open problems that if you are going for PhD and you want to do research in this area, these problems you can work on. First is how to build a unified framework for analyzing all nature inspired algorithm. If you will go through the literature, you will be able to find out that everybody is giving new meta heuristic and saying that their convergence rate is better than another. I don't know how they are doing it. Might be they are tuning their parameter in a better way and not tuning the parameter of the other important meta heuristics like particle swarm optimization, cuckoo search, the well established one, this one genetic algorithm, they are not tuning them properly because it's very difficult to beat their result. If you will do your own, you will be able to identify. So to gain the insight of how the convergence is going on, how the rate of convergence is moving, is your approach stable and robust? The second important parameter, like in crow search, we have 2 parameters, flight length as well as awareness probability. In particle swarm optimization, we were having 3 parameters, W, C1 and C2. How we have to tune these parameters? Because these parameters, if I will change this 2 to 0, I have shown you the result. If I am changing from 2 to 0, the whole result is changing. If somebody is taking it as a 0.1, the result will change. So what is the best tuning parameter? How, if we can do anything in that area, that will be good. We have around 30 to 40 benchmark function. So they are not even sufficient. If we can have more benchmark algorithm based on benchmark problems, based on that we can check the performance of these meta-heuristic algorithm. That is again a open challenging problem. And what are the most suitable performance matrices? On the basis of that, we can compare the different meta-heuristic approach. How to best scale up the algorithm for well work for small as well as large scale problem. Like you have to tune the deep learning algorithm parameters, and the problem can be to find out the simply parameter estimation of 2 parameters only. With this, I want to stop here today. If any one of you is having any doubt, please let me know. Manish sir, you are mute.
Participants, if you want to ask any question, then you can ask. Okay, sir. We will send you the questions.
Yes.
You will answer by mail, sir.
Sure, sir. Sure. Not an
Okay,
issue.
sir. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you, Professor Ankur Chaudhary, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I, Manish Kumar Sharma, on behalf of IT Department, ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad, a very heartily vote of thanks to you for gracing the event with your presence and sharing with us your finding and opinion about the nature-inspired optimization and its application to complex engineering problem. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So with this, I am ending this meeting. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.